too much, and we all love Cindy. So
thank you, Tina.
Sprang Cindy. So I'm no expert or whatever. I can make little marble bags. And Sprang is it's springy. The weave looks like chain link fence. And a modern day something that they would use Sprang for would be hammocks. But they used to, like, the Vikings would have done Sprang. So I'm making little marble bags. And these ones were made from like a cotton. And I like them because they're nice and small. The first one I did just a piece of string as the thing, and I don't like that as much. So then I was doing little finger weave cords, and that turned out nicer. And then somebody had said, I can't remember who, that it'd be a good thing for hand spun yarn. So I was just trying some hand spun yarn. Well, I did one with the same amount, but now it's too squatty. Turned out okay. It was easy to do. But I would do like 8 instead of 12 warps to do with the big fat yarn on there. So I did that. And then I did one with some recycled sari silk. This is a size 4. And so it's a nice little bag too. And this is what we're going to do now. And so I wrote all that on my little handout that I made of how many warps I did. So this was 10 warps. The little bags were 12 warps, and I did 12 warps on this. It was too much. Next time I'm going to try it an 8 warps for that. And I think I'm going to try to warp 2 straight and then sew them together a different way to make like a little market bag. Because all I know how to do is my little marble bags. That's what you're learning is a marble bag. You can call it something else if you don't like marbles. I'm actually going to put marbles in mine. So, okay, so we need this PVC pipe thing, which I've sent you how to assemble it. I made my husband do it. It was really easy. So you can play this and do it for not much money, which is always fun. And then you need some dowels, and the dowels need to be just a little longer than your frame. You could do it on a frame or anything that like has this shape. When you're putting, I just took string and put these on, and you can just undo them and do them. Now, mine are not like completely 100% straight. I know some of you are more anal and are going to make yours 100% straight and make yourself crazy. It didn't matter on the marble bag. You can't tell that I didn't take a ruler and make these exactly straight. Don't do it like where it's like that, but okay. So we are going to, so you need 2 dowels. I recommend sanding them and just put them on there like that. Now you're going to take 2 yarns. It's weird not being able to hear anybody talk back to me, huh? So you need to leave a little bit of a tail because you're going to sew down this side of the bag with that. So I leave a little bit of tail. If you can't see what I'm doing, please like let me know. Okay. And you're just going to kind of tie it on with whatever kind of, I make some kind of funky Tina knot, whatever kind of knot that's easy to release, but is not going to come off works. So I just put like some kind of little funky, I don't know, it's just my knot. It's not anything that's so that I can easily get it off. So you're going to put this on. When you're putting your dowels on, you need to know that you're going to pass yarn through the top and the bottom. So there needs to be space. You need 2 balls of yarn, and I recommend doing it enough of a color that it's easy to tell them apart. Don't do like pink and barely lighter pink, and then you can't tell them apart. I think that would make it harder for trying. Okay, so the first warp is hardest because you've got these stupid bars going everywhere. So you kind of got to finagle them. When somebody's like around, hold one, that always makes it nice. So you're coming over the top and then over, so you're over the top, going through, back to the bottom and over the top. Hold on, let's throw those through. I usually do it to the side, but then you can't see. So trying to do this so everybody can see. But now it will get easier because see, look, you have some tension now. So then it's easier to do. Okay, so right now that's the top, right? And that's the bottom. So we have this V, and you can see at the bottom, it looks like 2 sets of warps. That counts as 1 warp. So it's like actually 4 pieces of thread, and at the bottom, and you can see it better when you put several on there. So for this one, we're going to do 10, okay? So that's 1. So we're gonna warp it up. Tell me, shout out if you cannot see me or anything too, because I'm trying to do it where you can.
And Tina, is the warp a figure 8 or is it like?
Yes, you were just going. Trying to hold on.
So you go.
Trying to hold it while I'm, talking.
Yeah.
Yes. So you go through the top.
From the back.
From the back, over the front. Okay. See, over the front and through the back.
Through the back, okay.
Okay. And you do need to pay attention that it's not twisting. And let me straighten it out a little bit because I'm talking, so I'm not. Because you need it so that like the same color is like, so that's the darker and that's the, so you do need to, it's when you're doing it and not talking, it's easier to do that. Hold on.
So in this position, when you're going over the top, you're going from the back to the front.
Yes.
In the bottom, you're going from the front to the back.
Right. You're going over the front, then through the back. See, it's in the back, then you're over the top, down the front, there. See, can you see?
Yes. But we can't see the bottom.
See, and the bottom right now, see, here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can you see that? And it's kind of like a V, but they all meet at the bottom. See right here? Mm-hmm. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I always count from the bottom. It's much easier to tell what you're doing it that way. Okay. And the yarns go everywhere and you chase them. And I usually set it down the other way doing it, but then you can't see anything. My yarn smells really good this is darn good yarn from that's recycled. Sorry. And I don't know what they wash it with, but it smells really good. Okay, let's count and see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 7. Okay. See, so it's over. And I've got pictures too on there. And I'm happy.
Your handout was beautiful.
Thank you. I worked hard on that.
And I'll get it to everybody so you can open it. 3, sorry about that.
5. Hey, baby.
7, 8. Here we're on 9. And this should be 10. Let me count again. Counting is always the hardest part of a project, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I tied at the beginning at the top, and to end, you're still going to tie at the top. And you want to make sure that you leave a tail for sewing down the sides still. Because if not, then, you'll have to, and then just, tie it on whatever kind of knot action makes you happy. I'm sure there's like technical ways to do it, but, okay. So can everybody see the 4 things count as a warp?
Yep.
Okay, let me just make sure I have everything not twisted real quick. Set it down like this. And it's a fun little, easy project to do. And if you have grandkids, marble bags are, my husband makes glass marbles, so.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
That's why the
perfect.
marble bag.
Cool.
And marble bags are like, marbles are really fun to little children. My grandson came and we just like did marbles like back and forth between our legs for like an hour. He thought that was great fun. See, I wasn't like paying too much attention when I was doing that. I was just doing it, and now I'm like a little bit twisted up. So I'm trying to untwist it a little bit. And I've got kind of a twisty mess.
I see him as good for gemstones and things too. I'm a bright person, so
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it would be good. I've kind of got some twisting going on here because I was trying to do fast and talk. Hold on. So now,
There's an interesting historical connection too. Officers in the Revolution and before, during the wars, they wore red sashes that wrapped around their waist. The sashes were made from Sprang.
oh, cool.
They were 9 to 10 feet long and just wrapped around the body. And if the officer got wounded in battle, they would take his sash off and spread it out, and it was a hammock to carry him off the field, a stretcher.
darn.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. No clue.
It's great hammocky because it's very springy, kind of like a chain link, fence would be.
Yeah.
Got that whole, a little bag really stretches out. Okay, I think I'm pretty decent. So now you're just going to take it and tighten it up so everything is together. Okay. You are going to, what I've been doing and I liked is I've been putting a tighter cord because I'm going to use that at the top. See, hold on. I put this, if you put this in here now, it will save you headache because if you try to do it later, it's harder. And then I just kind of tie that on a little bit. It doesn't even have to be tied on very, just to stay. Okay, and at the bottom, I just cut a piece of string to hold my place. Most of you like knit or do kind of yarn projects, and sometimes you put like just a safety in to make things. That's kind of what you're doing, because I'm going to take this bottom one out because I'm just going to tie with the top one. But I tied this down too because I've done it both ways and it makes it a lot easier to have that in there, and then you're not fighting this stupid thing. Okay, so I'm just putting that in. Does everybody understand that? Does that make sense?
So it's kind of like tying a cross.
Right. So now when we're tying it on, all the floppy mess was at the top. Now we're going to switch it around, and the floppy mess is going to the bottom, and the top is now where the knots are not. Okay. Now the other things you need is just a dowel that you sharpened on both sides. I recommend sanding it. And then skewers, which are on sale right now at Harris Teeter. And the skewers, you're going to be doing 2 repeating rows for this easy pattern. So there's a row 1 and a row 2. I highly recommend you put one line on the row 1 ones and 2 on the row 2. It'll save you a lot. And about 4 or 5 sets of skewers are cheap and easy to get, but I would recommend sanding these a little. It just takes a couple minutes to sand all this stuff because they kind of like are, you know, weird and need sanding. But I just went around these with a Sharpie so that I know, because it saves you a lot. Now you're going to be doing this so that your weave is at the top and the bottom at the same time. Okay, so let me see if I can. Okay, so I use my handy dandy stick. I use the skewer when I'm doing the teeny tiny thin, and this works really well on a little bit thicker yarn. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. See, you can put your hand in here, see, and you have one set at the top and one set at the bottom. Okay. So on row, hold on, I've got somebody that is, hold on. I was putting that's a new thing. When I was putting my tie in, there we go, I had one of the threads wrong. So make sure that your tie is in there without the threads going, so you can do that. So you can see all the threads. Okay, does everybody see that? Okay, so for row 1, so you have a top and a bottom. And these two for row 1 are going to match. It's the same yarn. Okay, so you're going to take, can you see the top, and you're going to push it to the back, and the front, the back is going to come front. Is that seeable?
And do you bring the bottom up on the left side or on the right side, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters
Okay.
because I just do it. Mine is coming up on the inside. Okay. And you just do that all the way down where you're going. The front is going to the back and the back is going to the front. Now on this row 1, it will always be the same colored ones because you haven't displaced anything. So if I'm doing, you know, the stripy yarn, I'll get the stripy yarn. If I'm doing the solid color, I'll get the solid color. And you just go down the whole time. Later, when DJ wakes up, I will have her like close up with one of our cameras do this, and I can add some videos of just the little parts that are harder to go for your brain to wrap around, since my camera on the computer is smarter than me. Hold on, where did I go? Sometimes like talking and doing something is
not so easy.
well, yeah, because I mean, you know, I'm a newer doing this too. I'm, you know, it's not like I'm an expert. Darn it, I think I might have messed one up, but that's okay. I can video the parts of it for later. Hold on, where did he go? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, it was back there. I've got something that's a muck here. Hold on. Trying to like be fast for time.
Being
Take your
fast
time.
is so hard to do.
Take your time.
We're fine.
Hold on, I had one that's out of order.
This stuff only happens when you have a computer audience, you know.
It does, because
Yeah,
of, you know, did this exact same bag yesterday and
We had no problems.
no problems because nobody was watching me.
And next month you'll have an entire new teepee done in Sprang.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's see if that's good. Okay, so, and how I generally hold it is like not so, okay, well, you can't see up my skirt, right?
Nope.
How I hold it between my legs. I like to put my finger in here. It kind of helps. And, you know, just push the front back. And you're seeing the same color on this round. So that it helps you go, oh, that one is that, this one is solid. Can you guys see the different colors on here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. It's hard to tell what's going to be, you know, seen good on the camera too. I don't have like experience knowing that because I think, oh, I thought the pictures turned out well. So I thought, okay, I'll do the same color.
No?
We have bright light behind you also, which
Is
is,
it bad?
No,
No? Okay. My one set of lights in my front room decided to stop working. So we have to call an electrician. So I only have half light in my front room.
Ouch.
Yeah, not fun. Okay, so see, I have the whole row done. And this is now my beater too. So I'm going to beat up and I'm going to beat all the way down. I like to do it a couple of times. I don't know if that's necessary, but that's what I kind of do. And now, so you want to make sure you beat both ways because you're weaving top and bottom at the same time. Now I'm going to take my 1 markers and I'm going to put 1 down at the bottom and 1 up in the top because that is going to, and these will kind of sometimes fall a little until you get a little tighter. So you just kind of got to finagle them. It's just practice like anything else. So now I know I've done row 1 and this holds the space. It's really important to put those in. Okay. Now the next row is row 2. I like to put my hand in here. It just helps me. Everybody find their own style. If you find a good style, let us know. Okay. Then I pull my stick out and row 2. See if I can get to, so you can see this. I'm going to take these top 2, push those back and only pull up 1. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Kind of makes it offset.
That's what's making it offset. Now there's like other patterns that I don't know because I'm new that do all kinds of weird offsetting stuff. So if you want to play around with that, you can come up with all kinds of stuff. We're doing it for easiness. Now I'm going to do the whole row except to the last step will be different. So now I'm just going to take 1 from the front, 1 from the back, the whole rest of the row. Now my color in front versus my color in back will be different. Hold on. Is that one?
Doesn't sound too bad.
No, and it's just those 2 rows, back and forth, those 2 rows. I'm not paying attention to time. So if I get like where it's like, okay, we're taking too long, let me know. And I don't mind like making some little videos to finish it up so that you can do. So just let
That's
me know.
a good idea. Yeah, a video.
Yeah, that's what I thought that DJ slept in today because she stayed up half the night doing her last paper for school because tomorrow is my baby's 21st birthday.
Oh,
Done before tomorrow. And so she's not even up yet. Okay, so the last stitch, there'll be 1 in the front and 2 in the back. So you just push the 1 and grab the 2. And now we're going to beat up, beat down, beat up, beat down. I don't think it matters if you beat down or beat up first. Do it however you'd like. And now we're going to take the ones with 2 and put 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. Okay. Now, if I had to set this down and I was cooking dinner or doing something and I couldn't remember where I was, well, I can, because the bottom, I did 1, and I did 2. And since we're doing row 1, row 2, row 1, row 2, what's next?
No one.
Row 1. You guys are so smart. Okay? I put my hand in here, pull out my floppity wop it, and we're just deplacing by 1. So you take the first top and displace it with the back. And now we're back to, it's the same color.
Wow.
You had, I have the stripy and then I have the solid. So stripy to stripy, solid to solid, and see how the stick kind of will finagle and kind of fall. You just gotta kind of hold it up, and you got to find what way to hold it, works for you and all that kind of stuff. I like to hold it between my knees. So I guess in public, I shouldn't do it in a skirt. But I have strong legs so that it holds it nice. When we were doing the online class, people were seeming to have trouble holding theirs. And I just grasp it between my knees, and that kind of works for me. So I'm doing the whole row. And I did something wrong because I have more at the end. See what happens when I'm talking? So I'm going back out and starting over. I cannot talk and do the same thing. So the front one goes, hold on, but I have to do that because I still have some of the old weave in. See how I did that?
Yeah.
When I pulled it out, there was still some of the weave that I messed up, so I need to undo it. Okay. So we're still on row 1 because I'm being blonde. Hold on, get my hand in there. There. Okay. So 1 to the back, 1 to the front, and it's the same color. 1 to the, can you see this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
1 to the back.
This looks like it might be doable. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. And I am happy to, if anybody's not scared to meet, to show you. It really only takes a few minutes to go, oh, and get it in your brain. Or I'm happy to do it online if you are not seeing humans. I'm flexible that way. I mean, I'm happy to sit with you and talk anybody through it. If you want to try it and then you go, what did we do? I'm happy to help.
Oh,
I don't say that and then I'm not happy to help. If I'm very honest. And so if I tell you I'm happy to help, I am happy to help. And if I'm
Thanks,
not
Tina.
happy to help, I'll tell you no.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not shy about saying no to people. Okay. So now I need to beat again. And what do I need to do next? After I beat,
Put in row 1.
put in row 1 thingies. Yep. Now it's up to you how many markers, because you at some point are going to have to start pulling markers out, or it just gets too ridiculous and then you're going to just be stabbing yourself with skewers. I do 1 more row and then I'll start pulling it out. So now we're doing row 2 again. So put your hand in. It's really easier to put your hand in here while the stick is still in here, or else you get stuff from the back and some stuff to the front. Okay, so now I'm taking the 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and now I've displaced. So I'll do stripy to solid now all the way down. All the way down. Stripe in the front screen, solid in the back. So take the front, push it to the back, pull the back. Oh, did somebody have a question? Or is that somebody's?
I think a spouse I think there's a
Nice talking.
spouse that entered the picture.
A spouse has a question.
Actually, I have a question for Cindy. Cindy,
Okay.
would your copper loom work to do this?
Yeah, it
I-
sure would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that copper loom would be great for this.
I
I
will
think it
finally
would.
put it together.
Okay.
And some people like use picture frames or, anything that
Oh,
you can have a top and a bottom.
Embroidery frames, maybe? I have
Yep.
one of those out.
Yep, that's what she was also recommending in class was embroidery frames worked really
The
well.
scroll like ones.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got one of those poly frames for hand switching quilts that might work very well.
I had canvas stretchers from that project where we.
Yep. Okay, so no, at the end, I'm gonna have one in the front and two in the back. And now what do I do?
Do
Beat.
the
Up and
swoop.
down.
Eat
Up
up
and
and
down.
down or down and up, whichever makes you fancy. Now what am I gonna do?
Put in
Put in
twos.
Skewers.
Put in the twos. Make sure you get one at the bottom and one at the top. That was like a mistake people were doing in the little online classes, forgetting to put like the bottom ones seemed to be where people were forgetting.
Yeah.
So like I will always scoot over my skewers so that I have them in sets. And now that I have a bunch of skewers going on, I'm going to pull this very first one closest to the tension bar out, and the very bottom one close to the tension bar out. And it's fine, they're in place. And so now those are my number ones, and I keep them scooted over here because they're for the next row. How long are we supposed to go on this? What is our time frame?
When you're done.
Well,
Yep.
when I'm done might be a while. So
Well, you can decide when you're done.
what?
You can tell us.
When you're done.
Yeah,
Well, I'll keep.
you can
doing
tell us
it.
when you're done.
And if you're going, I don't want to watch the whole thing, let me know and I'll kind of explain it and make a video for later. But now we're back on row one. So the one in the front goes to the back and the back goes to the front. And all of them will be the same color again. And I really do recommend that at least the first one, you get yarn that's easy for you to decide which is which. It really helps. Well, it helps my brain. I don't know. I think differently than other people. Janet will be helped by this. I think Janet thinks very in line with me, don't you, Janet? So, and just the stripey to the stripey, because I'm on row one, solid to the solid. And she had recommended like cotton, the teachery person who's done a million Sprangs, but I am liking the other fibers. So beat, 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 one stick, one stick. You know, and if you think that forgetting the bottom one might be your problem, start with the stick at the bottom. I'm very pro finding your way because we're all very different. So my way might be different than somebody else's. Now I'm going to pull out the top number 2 stick and the bottom number 2 stick. I set them together so I know. Okay, so I'm putting my hand back in. And what is my next for row 2? What do I do?
Put in two.
Two from the front to the back and only bring up one. And now I'm
One.
offset. So stripe and solid will be the whole thing all the way across. Okay. I'm going to have to put on my air conditioning today. Anybody else hot?
Yeah, that'll happen.
Nope.
No, I'm
A nice breeze through here.
I've got the door open, but the breeze doesn't seem to be. My dog likes to run out and chase the squirrels and.
Yes, I have to go.
Yeah, you're doing fine until the squirrels come in.
Oh, no, he chases them.
Yes.
He has one that stops and taunts him. Now at the end, I will have one in the front and two in the back. So push the one, grab the two, beat, beat, beat,
I know.
put in sticks. Okay. Now pull stick out, pull stick out, and you're ready for row one again. I think I'm just going to explain what I do because there's still several more rows and I don't think you guys want to sit there and repeat the same thing again. I mean, if you do, I will, but I can make little videos of it too. So once
That would be great because then we could do parts.
yeah, exactly. If I
No.
just make like little, 20-second videos of here's how you start one, here's how you start two, then you can replay them. So I will get on that. Definitely have it by Wednesday or Thursday because tomorrow is DJ's birthday. So, okay. So once
Okay.
you get to the end, the last row is going to be tight. And that's okay. When it gets too tight, stop. And sometimes I stop after a row one, sometimes I stop after a row two. Okay, it doesn't seem to affect the whatever you're doing. So at the end, you are just going to grab some kind of crochet hook. I leave this bar in there and shove the crochet hook on the top, and it's going to be a shove when it gets tight. And I just pull a yarn through, and then I wrap it around the front and pull it through again. And you can do it 2 to 3 times because then it's going to pull, you can do it to there. And then that's going to make like a drawy string. There's other ways to close up the bottom that are fancier, but this is a nice, easy, and that's what we learned in class. Okay, because then you're going to be able to draw the string like there.
I'm sorry, my friends, I have to leave. I have another meeting.
I'll send the finishing little videos this week too, Janet. So you'll be able to.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's very exciting. Yes.
I figure we could probably figure out how to incorporate some of those videos with whatever we put on the website.
Yeah, and feel free to share any of my materials that I have made. I not trying to make a living off this, and I think some of the ancient things, it's really nice if we don't completely forget.
Yes.
So okay, so that's just gonna do a little thing at the bottom so you can string it. Okay, so after that, you are going to gently undo like these, and I pull out it with the bars on at the beginning. I'm not going to do that because I'll mess up my thing. Okay, so I pull that out, and then I gently untie the ends. Okay, and then I take my nice cord and I am going to thread it through here. After I pull the bar out, I thread it through because I still have the safety cord in there. Okay, so that I can tie it up with
With the
one
drawstring.
knot,
Oh, yeah.
because I like it that side better. I did the first one with each on the side and did it like that, but I personally like this bag better with
One.
so it's personal preference. You can do
Yeah.
whichever kind you do. So I tie that up, and then I have the strings, and I crochet up the sides.
Oh.
I just take my crochet hook and I use the color that's on each side that matches, but you can darn it up in any style that you like to darn it up. You can use a crochet hook, or you can use, you know, a darning needle. And I will make little videos of showing you that with DJ focusing in so you can see really well and better light, because I think that will be easier. And that's it.
Tina,
Got a bag, yes.
would you point to where the fold is in the middle and where the top and bottoms are on your bag?
No, on the bag.
On the bag. This is the middle.
Okay.
Need at it's the bottom is the middle, and it's very important to make sure you secure that, or all your weaving is going to come out. So this is the middle, and up here is the top.
Okay.
This part at the top here is where it was on the bar.
Okay.
See? This was on the bar here. It was stretched out. This was the middle.
Okay.
Does
And
that
the
make
other
sense?
side is the bottom bar.
This is, yeah, because it's going to fold up.
Got it.
It's, you know, like if this was the piece of thing, you're going to put the thing and then it's going to fold up and you're going to sew the sides.
Okay. Will you
Cool.
have one seam or two?
You will have
Two
two. You'll
seams.
have one on each side.
Okay, all right.
Okay. And I'll make little quick videos so that you can, you know, rewatch them and rewatch them and rewatch them on each little step. Because you don't need to sit there and watch 50 rows of the same thing.
And you have to tie the center ties so you
You
don't,
have to make sure
so you don't lose your marbles.
exactly. You'll lose all your weaving and all your marbles, and you'll be really, really sad. As you
Good
see,
one, Debbie.
I had to get that one in there. I couldn't.
That was real good.
here, you want to see one with a marble? Let me grab a marble.
It seems like the holes would be so big, the marbles would fall through.
Oh, yeah.
Big marbles.
You're doing bigger or smaller marbles. My husband makes glass marbles.
Beautiful.
See?
Okay.
Into the marble bag.
That's so cool.
Very
It
nice.
is.
That's a
If you
cute
come to
thing.
my house, you can play with marbles.
The person getting the marbles in a bag, it's all handmade.
Exactly. That's
Really.
what I was like, ooh, marble bags. Goes my husband's marbles. We've put marbles on our table around this piece of wood in the trench so that you can play with marbles as you eat at my house. Because I am 4-year-old if you haven't figured that out yet.
Very nice, Tina.
Well,
Thank you.
Tina, thank you
That was
so
very
much
nice.
for sharing.
This
what
was
you've
Very
done.
great. I have read about Sprang and I've heard about Sprang and I could conceptualize it, but I just couldn't picture how you actually do it. And
Yeah. And you think
this was
you think
perfect.
when you see it that it's way harder than it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it really is not hard. The warping is easy, and everybody knows that I'm like warping stupid. Okay. So when I say
No.
something isn't, I'm warping.
Me too, me too.
So when I say something's an easy warp, you really know it's an easy warp. It just
Oh.
takes a few seconds. It's really easy. The first round is harder because the stick is falling off. So if you have somebody to hold the
Yeah.
bottom stick so it doesn't, that's a nice thing.
Tina, the book that I found in the tavern library, what they did is they had a string that tied up and down from the two tension straight things, and that kind of kept it stabilized until you got
Oh.
the warping done. And so it just
That's a good idea.
tied top and bottom in the middle.
Oh,
Say
thanks.
that
Yeah,
again.
I'll try
Yeah.
that. You can
What?
do it on both sides on the outer part to not even mess with your warp.
Well, but you take it out once you get part
Right.
of the warp in.
But if you did it on both sides,
Right.
on both sides of the thing, then it would hold it while you warped.
Yep.
Yeah, and it wouldn't even interfere with the
okay,
warping
so
at all. Good idea, Sandy.
Well, it was in an old book.
Yeah. Well, that's, some of these people that were, experimenting and trying it found the easiest ways to do stuff, and keep it simple.
I'm so glad you did this. 40 some years ago, I bought Collingwood's book. And every time we've gotten into it, it's you can do A or B or C or D or E or F. And Yeah, how about just, how do you do one of them and
Yeah.
such? And that's,
This is the simple one. And I had like, set it down for a few months and I still remembered it without even having to do it. Because it's really just row 1 and row 2, and the row 1, you just do the same thing. And then row 2 is just 2 in the
Oh.
front to the 1 in the back,
yeah,
so you don't need lots of notes. But too, if you like, after the videos or something, if anybody needs help, please ask. I'm happy to meet with you online, meet with you for coffee. I'm happy to answer questions by email. I like to teach things, so.
thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
nice of you.
And okay, about the email that I sent out from Tina, were there just 2 files that wouldn't open, guys?
Yes,
That's
Yes.
Those
But the
were fine.
others would open for you.
right.
Okay, I think I've fixed it now. I'll send it out in just a few minutes. The 2 files.
Thank you.
So, and I will get the videos on each step up and done. Today I have a few things to do, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
We're
I don't
okay.
I don't think we're in a dying hurry for these, just now
I
that
know,
we've
but it's better to like do it where you're fresh and,
yeah.
versus
Yeah.
sometimes when I leave something, I really, will.
I mean, we have some overachievers, and by next time the show and tell
Yeah,
us somebody is going to,
I
somebody is going to,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will have passed me up, and the things I showed you, that's what I've done in Sprang. I've done 4 bags.
well, some one of us, I won't say who, is likely to have spranged an entire parking garage. Bag to store your car in. Okay, has anybody else got anything they'd like to toss in before we?
I
get
just
doing?
wanted to ask Sandy, what did you say to do to the rod so it won't wiggle around?
So the top and bottom rods,
Yeah,
the one I saw, you just hung one of, actually, let me see if I can get the books here. This is the book.
uh,
Let me just see if there's a picture of it. So they did one up and down and one across. But the stuff in this book is downright scary because it just looks like the 50s. But
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
the
that-
70s. So does that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that shows very nicely.
Well, I have a
Okay.
different idea based on what you said.
Yeah,
I'm
she-
gonna
But
try.
she can put one on each side, and I
That's
think
what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do, and if it works, I'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
Well, it would save all of the bouncing up and down that
Yeah.
they do when you're warping.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the only thing is because it's the bottom one until you get a few warps on is like, going everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. But yeah, when I've looked at the patterns and other people's directions, I'm sitting there going, what?
Yes, exactly.
So I really tried to Cindyify it and make it for the everyday human.
Yeah. Some people, when they write a
Kindergarten
book,
version
think
is
they
for
have to put
Cindy.
in every technique known to man from Egypt north. And
This really anybody can do.
yeah,
You don't need that much. And it's fun to just make the little bag. Sometimes I want a project I'm not having to think because, I don't sit well with nothing to do. But sometimes
Yeah.
people are bugging you. And this is really just repetitive, So it's really a really easy project.
good. Good.
Okay,
Yes.
I need to ask everybody to make a pledge that you will not tell Buzz, my sweetie, that I have learned Sprang, because
Okay.
he's gonna want one of those 10-foot long officer sashes,
Hammock.
Oh,
all in one color.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're not
obviously,
hiding
if
the
you're
blood.
going to
I think you would need a bigger loom.
if you're a reenactor and want period costume, why not?
yeah,
Bring me a 10-foot-long hammock that I can wear around my waist.
yeah.
That's right.
These little marbly bags, the reenactors seem to like to make them and use, either cotton or wool or something appropriate, an appropriate dyed, and put them on their little belts and their costumes for the SCA.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
It would be a good place to put the musket balls.
Yeah, you could put a lot of different little things in there. Seashells, rocks.
Indeed.
Yeah, I want to play around and try to make some kind of like a marketing bag. I have a thought, so hopefully that'll go. Hi, puppy dog.
Well, I just wound up making a little bag to hold a new video camera to carry around
Yes.
for
There you
zooming.
go.
Yes.
And not having tried Sprang, I just took some old cloth and sewed it.
Oh yeah.
That suits too.
Put a drawstring in with a shoelace, and yeah, but I could try this.
Yeah, it's easy. It's satisfying because you're doing something that the Vikings did. I really like the thought of doing something a Viking did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Without
That's
looting
cool.
and pillaging.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say I can
Have to
suggest
loot
what they
and
were
pillage.
best known for. You could try that, but somebody might object.
So, but yes,
Okay.
feel free to ask me questions if other people didn't come today and want to ask. You won't bother me. Please ask.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everybody have a great day.
Got the
Thank you,
handouts
Tina.
from Cindy.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Cindy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Bye-bye,
yeah.
y'all.
Dave.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks,
everybody.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, Tina.
See you tomorrow, Ingrid.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Good luck.